Hey everybody. In my quest to apply heavier and heavier resistance with my bands, I decided to build what amounts to a power rack for band resistance. And I decided I'd just build it myself, something that I could just get from my local home improvement store. I used very heavy materials. I used 2x4s and 3/4 inch plywood and 2x6s. And I built a heavy-duty platform. And these are just some pictures of the construction here. You can see I screwed and glued everything together. I used different types of deck screws and heavier screws, glued everything with Titebond glue, and I based it loosely around the Instar band set that I reviewed on my channel. And then I went beyond that, for instance, using heavier black iron bars and doing stuff like deadlifts and so forth. I use a lot of anchors that either screw in or bolt through, and they're very heavy duty. They have ratings of 155, 160 pounds each, and they allow me to place them at distances where I can do varying resistance and different types of exercises and a lot of weight. Since each one holds so much weight, you can stack bands. So let's get into the construction a little bit. All right, here we are, the finished product. And as you can see, it's all painted, and I've got a little non-skid carpet on there. And I've also added the bar here, and I think I mentioned that. I added a deadlift bar through the base. And you've seen in the intro, if you've seen the intro on all my videos, I do deadlifts with that. And I've got these little catches. They're just little rake handles that you get at like Home Depot. It just holds the bar off the base so you can grab it. So like if you're gonna go do a deadlift, you set the bar in there, keys it so you can pick it up off the ground. And the construction on it, as you can see, it's 2x6s, and a 2x4, according to the industry, will hold 1,000 pounds once framed from top to bottom. So a 2x6 is stronger. I don't consider this framed, but with the braces, these little 45-degree sails I have on the front and back, they're pretty sturdy. And I don't feel threatened in any way. This will hold more than I will ever lift, so I'm not really worried about it. I based it originally on the Instar bar that I got with my set. You see my review on my channel of this bar, and that's how I set the width. So you could set the width whatever way you wanted to, but that's how I did it because I was basing it on this thing so that I could have the eye bolts right off the end and connect them to the different eye bolts that I put in here. And those are those eye bolts that I showed you earlier. These are bolt ones. The one in the picture was a screw one, which I'm going to use in the wall. And as you can see, I put 2 nuts on each one so that, if you can see that way it won't come loose as easy. So it's kind of locked down, and they're both nylon nuts. So they're not going anywhere, and they'll hold quite a bit of weight. These are rated at 160 pounds each, so you know, concomitantly, if you used several of these, you could theoretically put more weight on here than most human beings could lift. You could get some resistance with this, and I understand there's a strength curve, and we can get into that in other videos. But anyway, so the construction of this thing is basically what you want it to be, the width you want it to be. The catch heights on this, I just kind of averaged it out with a few people, you know, the family and some friends. I just had them get under there, and everybody can get under the squat one pretty well. The bench one is a little bit of a reach, but you can always boost up the bench to get to it. And I got fairly long arms. So there's the basic construction of this thing. And there's not much more to say. I mean, you can just attach the bands in all different combinations and collect them as I have in sets. So I have even numbers of every band. And these are the 50s, and I think those back there are like 30s or 40s, and then there's some shorter ones that are deadlift oriented, but I use them on here to get myself to different resistance levels. And if you watch some of my videos, you'll see how I'm doing that, and it works in a variety of ways. I can set the tension the way I want it and get the workout I want and the intensity that I want, much more so than just regular band sets. So it's compact. It fits in a little tiny corner. This is just a little spare room in the house. Let me show you my lighting there. And but it's tucked away in a little corner, but I don't feel cramped here. I've got a 9-foot ceiling, so I don't have any problem with overhead work and I really like it. So if you wanted to build one, I mean, I'm not giving you specific dimensions or anything, but you can see how it's put together. Very basic hand tools that most people have. I mean, a circular saw, a jigsaw, and a drill. And I used glue. I used Titebond 3 for every joint. It's really strong glue. One time I built something with Titebond 3 and I made a mistake. And about an hour later or so, I tried to take it apart. And it wouldn't come apart, so I thought, well, I'll take a little mallet and whack the two pieces apart. Broke the wood, not the wood joint where the glue was. So it's super strong glue. When they say it's stronger than the wood itself, they ain't kidding. And as far as like, you know, for doing something like this, you just need a drill and a paddle bit. And I basically, this was just a whole piece. This was just two whole pieces. All this was here. And I just drilled through there. And then I just cut it out with a jigsaw so that it would receive the bar. And I did the same thing up here on the top. So I just sandwiched the pieces together, drilled the hole, and then, I mean, it's really basic carpentry. This is rustic too. I could have done a better job, but I didn't need to. I just put it together I put this whole thing together in about 4 hours. And then I painted it with oil-based, so it's an enamel exterior paint. So, you know, it's more durable. It doesn't chip very easily, and it'll last a lifetime. I could probably put this thing outside, but I won't because I work out inside. Too hot outside. I live in Florida. Anyways, so that's it. I mean, if you feel inspired or whatever, here you go. I mean, pretty simple device, but it expands your ability to lift. And hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you.